Taurus, you're stuck, not literally but energetically, and deep down you know it. There's a truth you've been avoiding facing because it demands something that terrifies you. Radical change. Not a change of job, not a change of habits, not a change of appearance, a change of place, a change of city. And as you read these words, something in your chest is tightening because a part of you already knows, I'm right, that you're in the wrong place, that you're wasting your life in a geography that no longer matches who you're becoming. But you are afraid. Fear is the word that defines your current paralysis. Fear disguised as prudence. Fear disguised as responsibility. Fear disguised as love for your roots. And this fear is slowly killing your soul day after day while you convince yourself that you are being sensible by staying where you are. But common sense has become a prison. Stability has become stagnation. And security has become the greatest illusion you have ever believed in. I'm going to show you 3 signs that irrefutably prove you need to move to a different city now. Not next year, not when you have more money, not when conditions are perfect, now. And each sign will hurt because it will expose a truth you've been denying with all your might. But this pain is necessary. It's the pain that precedes rebirth. It's the discomfort that precedes liberation. Are you ready to stop pretending you're happy where you are and finally admit that your spirit is screaming for a change you've been ignoring? Taurus, before revealing the 3 signs, I need you to understand something fundamental about your nature. You love stability, but you're confusing stability with immobility. You value security, but you're confusing security with conformity, and these confusions are costing you your happiness, your growth, your very life. Because living in the wrong place is like wearing the wrong size shoe. You might walk, but you'll be in constant pain and will never be able to run. The city where you are now has become a physical extension of all your internal limitations. Every street reminds you of who you were, not who you are becoming. Every place carries memories that bind you to the past. Every person sees you through an old lens that no longer reflects your current reality. And the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to break free from this fossilized identity that no longer serves you. Can you feel how you are living an old version of yourself simply because the environment around you doesn't allow you to evolve? First sign, you feel like you're living on autopilot. Each day is the same as the last. This is the most subtle, yet perhaps the most devastating sign. You wake up and already know exactly how the day will unfold. Not because you planned it, but because there are no more surprises, no more possibilities, no more novelty. You know every corner. You know every person. You know every available option. And this excessive familiarity has put you in a state of existential numbness. You go to the same places. You see the same people. You have the same conversations. You eat in the same kitchens. You think the same thoughts. You feel the same shallow emotions. Day after day, week after week, year after year. And in the midst of this endless repetition, you are disappearing. The vibrant version of you that was curious, that thirsted for new experiences, that had the courage to explore, that version is dying of starvation because the environment no longer offers any nutrients for its growth. Taurus, your brain was made for novelty. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to create new connections and adapt, depends on new stimuli. When you live in the same place doing the same things with the same people, your brain literally stops growing. You are living in cognitive and emotional decline without realizing it. The creativity you once had is atrophying. The ability to adapt is weakening. The courage to try new things is disappearing. And all this because you are stuck in a city that has already given you everything it had to give. And the worst part is that you know it. You feel chronic boredom. You feel growing apathy. You feel a lack of enthusiasm for life. But instead of recognizing this as the clear sign that it is, that you need a radical geographical change, you're trying to solve it with superficial changes. a new hobby, a new haircut, a new exercise routine. But none of that is working because the problem isn't what you're doing, it's where you're doing it. For Taurus individuals born between April 20th and April 30th, this autopilot mode manifests primarily in their professional life. You've been in the same job or the same type of job for years, in the same city offering the same limited opportunities, and you may feel your potential is being wasted, but the fear of starting over somewhere else paralyzes you. For those born between May 1st and May 10th, repetition is killing your social and emotional life. You're stuck in the same social circles that don't evolve, in the same relational dynamics that no longer satisfy you. And for those born between May 11th and May 20th, autopilot affects your self-expression and creativity. You feel you've become a generic version of yourself because the environment doesn't offer space for the uniqueness you carry within. But all Taurians experience the same devastating consequence, the feeling of living but not being alive, of breathing but not vibrating, of existing but not experiencing. And that's not life, that's survival disguised as stability. You deserve more than that. You deserve to wake up and not know exactly what the day will bring. You deserve surprises. You deserve unexpected possibilities. You deserve to feel that you are growing instead of just getting older. Second sign, the people around you are dragging you down or keeping you small. This sign is more painful because it involves people you love. Your family, your friends, your social circle, all those people you value so much are consciously or unconsciously preventing you from growing. Not because they are bad, but because your growth threatens the comfortable dynamic that exists. When you evolve, you expose their stagnation. When you dare to dream big, you reveal the limitations of their expectations. And instead of supporting you, they pull you back to the level where they feel comfortable. How many times have you wanted to do something different, something daring, something that excited you, but were discouraged by the people around you? How many times have you shared a dream and been met with, "Be realistic, that's too risky. You should be more practical"? How many times have your ambitions been minimized, your talents underestimated, your possibilities limited by the narrow expectations of people who love you, but can't see beyond the version of you they know? And you, being the loyal Taurus that you are, value these relationships so much that you're willing to diminish yourself to maintain them. You're willing to hide your dreams. You're willing to accept less so as not to bother anyone. You're willing to live a reduced version of yourself to fit into the box these people have built for you. But here's the brutal truth that nobody tells you. Real love doesn't limit. Real love doesn't diminish. Real love doesn't keep you small for the comfort of others. The city you're in isn't just a physical place. It's a human ecosystem. It's a network of expectations, judgments, old stories, and fixed roles. And within that ecosystem, you've been categorized, you've been defined, you've been pigeonholed into an identity that perhaps made sense years ago, but that is now suffocating you. And as long as you remain in that environment, it will be nearly impossible to escape that definition because everyone around you will constantly pull you back into it. Think about the conversations you have. Are they stimulating? Are they expansive? Do they make you think differently, dream bigger, see possibilities you didn't see before? Or are they the same complaints, the same gossip, the same superficial topics repeated endlessly? Think about the advice you receive. Is it advice that encourages you to take risks, to grow, to explore your full potential? Or is it advice based on fear, on limitation, on playing it too safe? And it's not those people's fault. They are operating at the limit of their own consciousness. They can't take you beyond where they themselves have arrived. They can't support you in dreams they don't have the courage to have. They can't celebrate your expansion when they have chosen contraction. And as long as you remain in that environment, you will constantly be swimming against the current, trying to grow in soil that is not fertile for the kind of growth you need. Moving to a new city doesn't mean abandoning the people you love. It means creating enough physical distance so you can breathe, so you can expand, so you can discover who you truly are without the constant weight of others' expectations and judgments. And here's what will surprise you. When you do this, the relationships that are genuinely important will not only survive, but will improve, because you will return to those relationships as a fuller, happier, more fulfilled version of yourself. And the relationships that don't survive, those were relationships that only worked while you remained small. And those are the ones you don't need to carry into your new life. Taurus, you're not being selfish for wanting more. You're not being ungrateful for not being content. You're not being disloyal for recognizing that you need a different environment to flourish. You're being honest. And that honesty is the first step towards the freedom you've been denying yourself. You deserve to be surrounded by people who celebrate you, not just tolerate you, who propel you forward, not hold you back, who expand you, not contract you. And if those people don't exist where you are, then you need to go where they are. Third sign, you constantly daydream about another life in another place. This is the most obvious sign, yet the most ignored. You spend hours fantasizing about living somewhere else, not occasionally, not once in a while, constantly. You research cities online. You imagine what your life would be like there. You visualize the places you would visit, the people you would meet, the opportunities you would have. You consume content about these places, videos, articles, photos. You know more about these distant cities than many people who actually live there. And every time you do this, you feel a strange mix of excitement and sadness. Excitement at the possibility. Sadness because when you turn off the computer or put away your phone, you're still here, in the same place, in the same life, in the same reality you so desperately want to escape. And then you convince yourself that it's just fantasy, that everyone dreams of living somewhere else, that it's normal. But it's not normal, Taurus. Not with the intensity and frequency you experience. Your spirit is trying to tell you something through these waking dreams. It's trying to show you that there's another path, another possibility, another life waiting for you. But you're interpreting it as escape, as fantasy, as something you should overcome, instead of something you should pursue. You're treating your own intuition, your own inner wisdom, as if it were an inconvenient distraction from the real life you're living. But what if the real life you're living is just a distraction? What if those daydreams are actually glimpses of the life you were meant to live? What if your spirit is literally showing you the map, the direction, the path, and you're ignoring it because it seems unrealistic or impractical? The question isn't whether you can move to another city. The question is, how much more time will you waste living a life that clearly isn't yours while daydreaming about the one that is? There's a specific reason why your mind always returns to these same cities, these same places. It's not coincidence. It's not escapism. It's recognition. At some deep level, you recognize that there's something about these places that resonates with who you truly are. Maybe it's the energy of the city. Maybe it's the opportunities that exist there. Maybe it's simply the fact that nobody there knows you, nobody has preconceived expectations of you, and you could finally be who you really are without carrying the weight of an old identity. And here's what you need to understand. The more time you spend daydreaming about another life somewhere else, the more you're wasting the life you're living now. You're not present where you are because your heart is already somewhere else. You're here physically, but mentally and emotionally you're already gone. And this internal division is exhausting you. It's creating a chronic dissatisfaction that contaminates everything in your current life. You can't fully appreciate what you have because you know it's not what you want. And you can't go after what you want because fear paralyzes you. But here's a truth that will change everything if you let it. Fear and regret are both painful, but only one moves you forward. You can live in fear of change and eventually regret never having tried. Or you can face the fear, make the change, and live without the weight of what if haunting you for the rest of your life. Both are uncomfortable, but only one sets you free. Taurus, these three signs don't exist in isolation. They are all happening simultaneously in your life right now. You're living on autopilot, trapped in a routine that doesn't nourish you. You're surrounded by people who limit you, consciously or not, and you're constantly dreaming of being somewhere else because your spirit knows you're in the wrong place. These aren't just signs. They are alarms. They are desperate cries from your soul, asking you to wake up and do something about it. And you might be thinking, but how? How do I just move to another city? I have responsibilities. I have commitments. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of regretting it. I'm afraid of being alone in an unfamiliar place. And all of these fears are valid. They are all real. But do you know what's scarier than any of these fears? Reaching 60, 70, 80 years old and looking back and realizing you wasted decades of your one and only life in a place you knew wasn't right for you, simply because you were too afraid to change. The truth is, moving to a new city doesn't have to be a leap into the abyss. It can be planned. It can be gradual. You can visit first. You can do research. You can start building a network of contacts even before moving. You can have a financial plan. You can have a career plan. You can have a contingency plan. But none of that will happen as long as you continue to deny that you need to move. None of that will happen as long as you continue to pretend you're happy where you are. The first step isn't changing cities. The first step is deciding that you will change cities. It's making a commitment to yourself. It's saying out loud, I deserve to live where I flourish, not just where I survive. And once you make that decision, once you make that commitment, the universe begins to conspire in your favor. Opportunities appear, doors open, paths reveal themselves. But none of this happens while you remain undecided, in the maybe someday, in the when the conditions are right. Taurus, conditions will never be right. There will never be a perfect moment. There will never be an absolute guarantee of success. But you know what does exist? This moment, now. And you can choose to use this moment to remain paralyzed by fear, or you can use it to take the first step towards the life you truly want to live. And here's a promise. A year after you make that change, you'll look back and won't believe you hesitated so much. You'll laugh at the fear that seemed so overwhelming. You'll wonder why you wasted so much time. And you'll be grateful for the version of yourself that had the courage to do what needed to be done, even when scared, even without guarantees, even when everyone said it was crazy. The alternative is that you'll be exactly where you are now in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, older, more tired, more resigned, more full of regrets, still daydreaming about the life you could have lived if you'd had the courage to change when your soul was screaming at you to do so. Is that what you want? Is that the future you're choosing by staying where you are? Share in the comments only the city you know you need to go to. No need to justify, no need to explain. Just declare it. Because declaring is the first act of courage. It's telling the universe, I know where I need to be. And when you do that, you activate invisible forces that begin to work to make it a reality. Subscribe to the channel now, because in the next videos, I'll teach you exactly how to plan a city move in a smart and strategic way. How to make the transition without self-sabotaging. How to deal with fear and guilt. How to build a new life in a new place. How to transform these 3 signs into concrete action. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any step of this transformation that's about to begin in your life. This is your breaking point, Taurus. The moment when you stop choosing false security over real happiness, where you stop sacrificing your potential to keep everyone comfortable, where you finally honor the cries of your soul that have been begging you to go out, to grow, to live the life you came to live. All 3 signs are present. The question now is, will you continue to ignore it, or will you finally have the courage to act? You already know the answer. Now it's just a matter of doing what you know needs to be done.